the tailback and how he's looking right now.
Yeah, he's a guy that we knew when we recruited him. He was, you know, a playmaker and could do a lot of things with the ball in his hands. We weren't sure, is he a quarterback, is he a receiver, is he a running back, is he a defensive back? He really wasn't getting a lot of work at quarterback because we need to figure out who our quarterback's going to be. And, you know, we said, so let's just put him either a tailback or a receiver, and let's just see what he can do and if he can help us. And running back was kind of a natural move for him, and he's done a good job. You know, I've been impressed. You know about the ball skills, with the ball in his hands, but just the pass protection, he's done very well in that. We had a play yesterday where he showed some physicalness to him, really actually ran over one of our linebackers and knocked the linebacker out for a couple plays. You know, things like that you didn't necessarily know that he had has been impressive. And he's a smart kid. You know, he knows what's going on. He's very, very poised, very mature beyond his years. So I'm excited about him. You know, there's a lot of guys he's there competing with. But he's off to a good start.
Have you narrowed things down any at this point, or is it still kind of a free-for-all back there?
No, I think we have a pretty good idea about how things may shake out, but we're still 18, 17 days away from the first game. This scrimmage on Saturday, the next 3 days of practice and our scrimmage on Saturday, I think will go a long, long way towards determining where we are when we play William & Mary.
How's Trey's leg responded so far? You're a little over a week into camp.
He's been good. I think he gets better and more comfortable each day. You know, the first day he gets hit. You know, that's one obstacle that he passes. Okay, I've gotten through contact. You know, pass protection versus a linebacker's pass protection where he's got to take on a defensive end. I mean, those are physical plays, and he's done all those things in the last few days and has passed with all of them. So I think he would tell you he's feels great. You know, we had, because of the weather last weekend, we had 3 days where we were in the indoor facility for 3 straight days, and that's a hard turf. I mean, that hurts my knees, and I'm not coming off the injury that he has. So we rested him on the third day. I really didn't let him do hardly anything in practice just to kind of take care of him a little bit. And he's one that I trust, and if he tells me I need a blow, he'll tell me. Now, he's not going to tell me, but so I've got to be good about taking him out at times and resting him and all that, but pleased with where he is right now.
Well, you've got old long snapper knees, so you're screwed anyway, right?
Yeah, long snapper and I don't know what else, so just non-athletic is what they are.
Shine, Trey, I know you've already talked about the fact that they're both trying to get, and they've admitted, both of them, that they're trying to get confidence back with just cutting and doing some things like that. Shine mentioned today that he's just, it's been, he said in late May he got cleared, and then he said it was, 2 months after that, late July, where he even started to think about cutting, and he's still not to that point where he's totally confident with it. What do you do? Can you kick these guys in the butt a little bit, or do you have to play the game and let them do it on their own?
Just that. I think you got to let it happen. You know, Shaw had a play in practice. I guess it was last week where he kind of broke through the line. A safety took him head on, and he took a shot on that knee, and it was kind of like, you held your breath for a second because it was a pretty vicious little hit on the knee. And he popped up, and I think that was good for him mentally. The other thing I think is you just, they work their way through it, and it's drills, it's practice reps. I mean, it's just every little thing. And that's the one thing you see with Shaw right now is he's explosive, he's powerful, he can run you over. What you want to see is that juke ability where you, I guess that's the word, juke ability where you make that guy miss.